Hey, YouTube, guess what we're doing right now? We are listening to the soundtrack of our very own intro to get pumped up. And you can't hear it because it's in our headphones, but that's what we're doing. And then we're going to get all queued up to record our podcast. So we are so glad you are here to join us at Behind the Scenes of the Intentional Mompreneur podcast, where Polly and I lay it all out there. You get to see our faces, our gestures, our dance moves. Hello. And all of our mess ups, which we hope.
Our mom buns. Look at this mom bun today. That's a good one.
Polly literally asked me, Nicole, does this big fat bun on my head make me look fat? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. You got a fat head. I wish you guys could hear our music, but
you were listening to it. I was
podcast.
It pumps me up. It's a bit of a stomp.
It's it's called stomp. The idea across. It sounds something like Mumford and Sons or Wren Collective or yeah, you got the idea.
Or yeah.
Of Monsters and Men. That's another one I'm thinking of.
Mompreneurs.
Okay. And here's the thing you guys all need to know. I'm going to document this right now, is that Polly Gage liked our first song.
Okay.
And she was a little bit like, no, it's fine. And I'm like, can we just try this? And she fell in love with my idea. So yay.
I do love it. Gave me chills.
Okay. All right, good.
Hold up. Okay, I'm going to share my screen with you, Nicole.
Okay. Y'all can't see it, but we got it up here. And you can see the lighting on my face changed because we got the white screen up. So you're welcome. Okay. So who's going to start this one out, Paul?
So what is this even about? Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
What's ironic is the name of this episode is It's Okay to Not Be Okay. And Polly goes, okay.
Okay. It's okay to not be okay.
I want you to know that because I'm in my closet recording a very high quality piece for you, my back is killing me. So
my back was killing me. Now.
Yeah, she says she's going to go get a yoga block. And I do not have a yoga block.
It's seriously so great. Nicole, just go on Amazon right now and buy one because you put it right under your bum and it like tilts your pelvis forward enough that you can sit and like you have good posture.
Are your legs crossed right now, Andrew?
Yeah, it feels so good. Like I get. Oh my gosh! Like,
do you really want me to go buy one right now? Because honestly, you don't like it when I get distracted.
I mean, throw one in your cart for sure. You need to throw one in your cart.
Okay, we're gonna throw it in the cart. Amazon.
Oh, it's
do
really
they have to be blue?
For that closet podcast recording life.
Yoga block. How many do I need? Oh, they come in 2 packs.
They usually come in 2 packs, but I mean, you just need one for your bum.
Oh, wow. Should they be $12? Does that sound right?
I mean, no pro. So yeah, that sounds great.
Wow, this fancy one is $11.99 with free shipping.
Oh, go for that one.
And then there's $12.33. The bestseller is $12.33 with free delivery for Prime members. But I wonder if the one that I'm going for at the top here is actually going to take a million years to get here.
Go with Prime. Go with
the Prime one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What, it was like 34 cents.
And it's GAIAM. GAIAM. I think that's like a good brand, right?
That sounds legit.
It sounds legit. So purple, gray, black, or teal?
Teal, obviously.
Obviously.
Okay.
Oh, wait, currently unavailable. Okay, purple in stock.
Yeah, purple. Go with purple.
So it's black or teal. Those are the. Oh, dang! Teal is $10.99. Now we're talking.
Teal.
Done. Guess what? Buy now. We're not even adding to cart. We're just buying
don't
it.
even add it to the cart.
We're swiping.
Buy now.
Swipe to place your order. Bye.
Okay. Right, see you soon.
We get stuff done, guys. You see this?
Okay, so it is okay to not be okay. Okay.
Is it though? All right.
It is.
Okay. When are we actually starting the episode, Polly?
Let's start right now.
Okay. Ready? Hey there, Mama. We see you, girl.
And we know you're not just a mama.
Mom life is hard enough without a business, and it can be so overwhelming to juggle all the things that come with being a business owner, a wife, and a mom. It can feel like one area is thriving and the other is failing, which leaves you feeling like a complete failure either way. We want to help you and your family find buy-in in your business and have harmony in your home life.
We're on a mission to empower entrepreneurs like you to embrace your purpose, both inside and outside the home, while kicking mom guilt to the curb. Let's get your ish together so you can manage your business and full-time family life. The secret is setting your intentions with grit and bathing them in grace.
In each episode, we're going to come alongside you, have real conversations, provide action steps and tangible solutions like life systems and business strategies so you can build a profitable business, become a more present mother, and impact our world while growing a stronger faith. Hi, I'm Nicole Easton.
And I'm Holly Gage. This is the Intentional Mompreneur Podcast. It is okay to not be okay. Sorry.
Episode 3 coming at you today.
Episode number 3. It's okay to not be okay. That's what we're calling this one, okay?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Guys,
okay. Mental health has become a major hot topic as of late. Reminding you, if you just got here, that we recorded this, the time of recording, we were I think we're towards the tail end of COVID-19, actually.
I'm hoping so. I'm feeling that's where my hope
It was this week that some restrictions lifted. So coming out of it. But I have heard from multiple people in multiple contexts that people are not doing well. And I kind of had a mental breakdown at the beginning. I think I'll probably talk about on this episode if you don't mind. But I think people aren't doing well. And for sure, people that maybe their faith life isn't a big part of their life, I know that they're struggling even more because it just the world, everything seems so meaningless without relationships and physical interactions and all of that. So,
real quick, sorry, I just have to show you this. While I was on the potty break, because all you mamas, that's when you scroll Facebook is on the potty.
If you're a good multitasker, doing something passive and active.
Right. I scrolled past this. It says, pandemic depression is a real thing and it's stupid and I hate it. This was posted today. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So it's still real. Yeah. And here I am. I mean, from the time that we thought up this episode to the time that we're recording, things have changed for me. I was eating crap, which I believe that sugar, poor eating, and poor drinking choices make depression worse. And I'm certainly so much better, so much better. And I tend to when I'm not, if I'm not in a purposeful stage of my life, I'm down for the count, that can cause me to be depressed. My attention deficit disorder, when it's not managed, can cause me to be depressed. But I'm pretty sure that poor food and beverage choices cause me to be depressed as well. And the circumstances of not being around people was so hard for me that I coped with food. And so then I got myself in a worse situation. So let's stop it.
Food became your friends instead. I mean, I'm the same way. I'm an extrovert just like you. We talk about how introverts, there were so many jokes, introverts are this is the moment we've been waiting for. But I am so certain that introverts discovered their need for their friendship and relationships when it was totally taken away from them. And extroverts also discovered their need for just alone time, but it has been hard for both groups, and I was just telling my sister the other day, I've got 3 sisters, all of them are introverts. And I was talking to one of them and I was like, am I seriously the only extrovert in the family? You guys need to check on me more.
You need to make sure you need to make sure your extrovert sister is all as well.
You guys are all fine. But what about me? I need you.
Don't worry, you have an extrovert bestie right here. So don't worry.
Gosh, it was we kind of talked about last episode. We kind of talked a little bit about the overwhelm and battling just business and babies, especially during this time. And we talked about how grace is that weapon of fighting overwhelm and battling overwhelm. And so this episode, we want to just kind of dive into that a little bit more and kind of a way to cope with the overwhelm that can kind of lead us into not being okay.
So the first thing we want to do is we want to validate you, okay? But we also want to bring you from a place of unacceptance to gratitude. And we talked a little bit about gratitude and in the previous episode, but as it relates to being stuck and feeling really, really low, we've got to get from a place of unacceptance of the way things are to gratitude, and that can help lift us out. That can be basically the sand that's added to the bottom of the pit that actually makes us closer to the top. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and this applies whether or not you're still in quarantine or
Mm-hmm.
whatever overwhelming situation you're in.
Right.
Your life, going from a place of unacceptance to gratitude is key. I actually want to share about this sermon that I listened to around Easter time. And I think for people this year, this Easter, especially if you're faithful, this Easter was just very different. But I was going through the Easter story and I was just kind of thinking like, wow, this Easter story is so relatable and really relevant to what we are experiencing right now. And so I had listened to a sermon on Easter and there was some really, really relevant stuff in there. And I wanted to kind of bring it up here because right now, where we're at with COVID-19, you know, we can kind of describe life as like nothing is going the way it's supposed to. And that happens at other times in our lives as well. But when we're talking about the Easter story as it's told in the Bible, we learn that after Jesus was crucified, his apostles went in their own little kind of quarantine and they experienced this great anxiety because nothing was going the way it was supposed to. So in John 20:19, Jesus is suddenly standing there among them. You know, he's come back from the dead and he says to them, peace be with you. And those apostles, they went from experiencing this crazy anxiety to inner peace. And so we want to talk about that with you today, you know, especially as we're kind of discussing mental health and it's okay to not be okay. You know, we want to talk today about how to navigate the anxieties and overwhelm and really be able to channel your inner peace.
Okay. So there's a ton of different circumstances that we could be dealing with right now, Polly. So can we like just kind of go through a list and kind of imagine, okay, you could be in this situation, you could be in this situation, and how to navigate that? Can we do that?
Okay. Yeah. So you've cleaned your house and it looks like a war zone in less than 24 hours. Your child climbs into your important Zoom calls. All right.
Happens multiple times a day.
Yep. When you're overwhelmed just by the irony that when you're quarantined, but you can't get a moment alone, okay, there is like a struggle. When you felt lonely and isolated long before quarantine even started, and now it just feels like you've got nobody. When you're so bored and you feel like you've got nothing to do, you've already watched your 50-second Hallmark movie. When you think it's Friday and you realize it's only Monday and you literally have a mental breakdown over it. Maybe you run out of toilet paper. When all the kids are in the house and you've lost control and you are about ready to lose your mind and blow your lid.
How about when there's no school? Or homeschool outside of homeschool activities?
Or how about when you can't hug your kid because you're one of the healthcare workers and you're caring for people who might be infectious. And so you can't even, you're quarantined by yourself away from the people you love. I mean, how many photos have we seen where there's just the glass? And
oh my gosh, no, this happened to my friend. My actual friend was taking on her niece and her nephews for her sister. And they literally watched them open their Easter baskets through a window. Like
right
heartbreaking.
There.
Yes. Yeah.
And well, what about the people who have lost a loved one in the middle of this? And not only are they grieving their loved one, but they're grieving the absence of a real funeral.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I met a lady at the grocery store the other day at the checker, and she was like, I lost two really important people that I love through this. And one was her dad and one was her dog. And she was equally as devastated by both of them. I don't know that either of them died because of COVID, but not even being able to process that, you know? And she was like, thank you for shopping at the store, because if I didn't work at this in retail, like I would be in a really bad place. Like hard.
Yeah. Well, and also on the other side of that, like, so people are losing so many things, but there are people who've planned so many vacations. Maybe they've been planning it for a year anniversary, birthday, graduation, anything, and then that's canceled. You've got no idea when you can reschedule or when you can look forward to it. Or what about the people who've been planning their whole lives and looking forward to a wedding,
Yes,
honeymoon?
my cousin, I watched her get married on Facebook. Like,
Yes,
what is
it's like,
this?
what is going on? And I'm sure like 20 years from now, we're all going to look back on this and be able to just like laugh and learn and all the good things. But right now, actually living through these moments are very anxiety producing and really can bring you down, and it is really hard. And so we want to just help you guys channel that peace, especially for all you people who love like routine and structure like myself. All of it's gone right now. All of it's gone.
So, these things it's overwhelming. Even as you, like, I'm starting to get anxiety, like, even just hearing you rattle them
I
off.
know, it's true. I am too.
And I think that we could have thought about all these things beforehand and what it might look like, but we've lived through some of these things. I mean, that was reality check. Seeing my cousin get married on Facebook when I should have been there, really crazy. I've seen pictures of funerals, like where people had cameras and stuff. It's awful. And so,
well, and just the weirdness too. Let's address this, because who knows how long this is going to go on for. But you go to the grocery store, you can't interact with people the way you normally would, and everybody's wearing a mask.
Oh, it's so creepy. Like,
I was in Costco and I hadn't gone for like a month, and I'm like, okay, now I can't not go. I got to go and get some stuff. And I'm at the checkout and there's this sign that says, starting this day, we're going to require the masks. And then the giant like splash guard
plexiglass,
these cough guard thing, and just like handing them through a tiny hole, and then like everybody around me wearing a mask, and I totally didn't get the memo, so whoops. But it was just like, what? Oh, this is
wait, you weren't wearing a mask?
No, I mean,
oh yeah, no, I did the same thing.
I didn't get the memo. I did not get the memo. I mean, I don't watch the news, so, but I was on the phone with my sister at the time, and I was like, this is so overwhelming. I like almost started crying because I was like, this looks so like, what is this?
It was just
so different, you know, and it caused some emotion in me that was like anxiety producing, worrying, like, what is going on in our world?
Right.
You know, it's just
and for me, my go-to is like when I feel overwhelmed or if I'm like struggling, like outsourcing is my thing. And that's not even an option anymore. You talked about having a house cleaner. Lordy Lord, like that is your normal routine's gone out the window. You can't depend on the people that helped you. Extroverts are realizing they also need alone time, and introverts are realizing they need their friends. Work-life balance isn't there. There's no alone time or too much alone time. And we're like, how can kids make so much noise?
Like, they truly do not stop talking. Like, the only reason why we have quiet time right now is because our husbands have taken our children
literally
outside of the home.
Literally, they are removed. So, and we know these are all things that you're feeling right now and you could continue to feel, and it's heavy. And we just want to say it's okay to not be okay. There's so many overwhelming things going on inside our home and outside our home. And, I mean, I had one of those moments for me, like going down the street when I was, anyways, we can talk more about that later, but
tell us
okay, so what happened, I had that moment too where I didn't have a mask and everybody had masks and it was just so weird. It was like a movie. But I was walking down Route 66, which you guys may know where that is. It's right by my house. So I was going down one of the main streets and it was like almost empty, so empty that I could just literally jaywalk. So I saw a group of people huddled around like 6 feet apart in their chairs with their tailgates open, an older group of people, and I waved at them. And I wave at them and the old man waves back, and then he kind of like waves me over. And so I cross the street and I get over there, and this is like the first time it's really hitting me. And I'm like, they're sitting there talking, and all of a sudden I just start bawling. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I miss people. Like, I miss people. Like, this is, wow. And I was like, I got this. This is cool. This is cool. But grief and depression, sometimes it hits you unexpectedly. And, if we don't talk about it and acknowledge it, it's a breeding ground for it to grow and fester and get worse and worse and worse. And so it felt very therapeutic to process that in that moment and to not like forcefully hold it back, because I was in that moment and they were there with me, and we all had this common unifying experience of what is going on. You know what I mean?
You got to feel those feelings.
I know. I know. And so that was my moment. Yours was in Costco while you were on the phone with your sister. Imagine if you were on the phone with your sister, you probably would have just started bawling.
It was like choking it back. I mean, it was nuts.
Ugh. Okay. Well, there are things we can do to help our mental health. One is getting enough sleep. Two is going outside. That means getting some sunshine. Okay.
For sure.